Thank you. A first alert this morning, fighting Snapchat after losing a child.
You'd rather be fighting with your child about Snapchat than standing at their funeral like we were.
Dozens of families protesting Snapchat to raise awareness about deadly dangers in a digital world. Aisha's at the First Alert Safety Desk, and this includes two families from Wisconsin.
Right, it does, Emerson. And this is Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, is facing several lawsuits right now from over 40 state attorneys general. They claim those platforms are designed to be addictive and harmful to the mental health of kids and teens. Several families just recently spent time in Santa Monica, California, including those families from Wisconsin, protesting and setting up a memorial outside the Snapchat headquarters, painting the street, demanding the company make changes to protect kids from predators as well as drug dealers. And I spoke with one of the driving forces behind this movement, a father who lost his 16-year-old son, Sammy Chapman. You're seeing there, it's been 5 years since a drug dealer reached out to Sammy, offering him a counterfeit drug for free and delivering it to the front steps of their home. It contained a lethal dose of fentanyl. The Chapman family is working on Sammy's law that would require platforms, all social media platforms, with a child user to use third-party safety software to warn parents about dangerous activities. But first, they hope to win a lawsuit with 65 families who lost a child to fentanyl poisoning via Snapchat.
I like to call myself an accidental activist. Every morning I get up and I continue to fight this fight because I believe that if I don't, another child may die. So I've had a career my whole life, but when Sammy died, I have a cause.
And I did reach out to Snapchat. They tell me their deepest sympathies go out to any family who has suffered such a heartbreaking loss. The company says it has invested continuously in the safety and well-being of the community via privacy and safety features. I'll post a link to some of those tips they gave me for parents out there under the Safety Desk tab at WBAY.com. Meanwhile, these lawsuits we just mentioned against social media companies, something we're following, guys.